Hello, Commanders fans. Today we have some hot news that you can't miss. So get ready, because there's a lot of important information coming your way. Before we begin, we'd like to take this opportunity to subscribe to the channel, activate the notification bell, and stay up to date on all the news about our Washington Commanders. Don't forget to leave a like, which greatly strengthens our community and helps bring this content to the most passionate fans of the team. Now, without further ado, let's get straight to today's news.
Internal Commander's source reveals significant change in Deebo Samuel's contract renewal prospects. It should still happen anyway. It's been a disastrous season for the Washington Commanders, but there have been some bright spots amidst the almost constant misery. One of them was General Manager Adam Peters' decision to sign wide receiver Deebo Samuel Sr. With almost every other productive receiver sidelined due to injury, Samuel had to become the team leader when he was expected to be Terry McLaurin's sidekick. He handled those responsibilities well, but his chances of staying in Washington longer are still uncertain. There are many unknowns. Samuel's performance is reasonable, and the fifth-round pick given up to acquire him was well spent. At the same time, Peters has many gaps in the roster to fill after a disappointing season when more was expected. This could mean that the former South Carolina star is out of the team, leaving the Division I leader free to invest money more efficiently in other positions. An internal Commander source sees a clear path for the renewal of Deebo Samuel's contract. It's a complicated dilemma. John Keim of ESPN thought it was feasible to bring Samuel back, and he also believed that the Commanders had sufficient financial resources to make the deal work, provided the All-Pros demands weren't too high. He has been Washington's most productive receiver, as injuries have sidelined Terry McLaurin and Noah Brown for a total of 16 games. Samuel leads the team with 53 receptions, 37 more than the second-place finisher, 470 yards, and 5 touchdowns. A heel injury caused him to miss one game, but Washington lacks depth at the receiving end position, and a trade for Samuel would make sense. The question is, at what cost? McLaurin will have an $18.35 million salary cap impact in 2026, so the Commanders could afford another year of Samuel if they wanted to. John Keim. Samuel has made the most of this opportunity. Accusations that he was a distraction in the locker room and that he was out of shape in Washington have not been confirmed. He embraced the project, and although the Commanders have fallen far short of expectations, the versatile offensive player is one of the few who have stood out positively this season. He will turn 30 next season, and the way Peters handled McLaurin's contract renewal over the summer may indicate a hesitation to invest more money in a veteran point guard.
The bombshell news of Brandon Aiyuk's potential release puts the Commanders on high alert. Adam Peters knows him well. Jaden Daniels, too. Diana Russini of The Athletic caused a stir in the NFL with a bombshell report about San Francisco 49ers wide receiver Brandon Aiyuk. And if the story is true, the Washington Commanders will be on high alert. The Commanders were linked to a possible trade for Aiyuk in 2024, but nothing materialized. He signed a lucrative new contract to remain in San Francisco, but to say things aren't going according to plan would be a huge understatement. Russini's report revealed that Aiyuk is missing meetings and that his relationship with management has soured to such an extent that the San Francisco 49ers canceled his guaranteed contract for 2026. The player did not dispute this information, fueling rumors of a possible separation during the offseason. The Commanders could reunite Jaden Daniels with Brandon Aiyuk this offseason, and considering his teammates have reportedly been unsuccessful in their attempts to convince him to return to the team, Aiyuk and the Niners may very well go their separate ways when the time comes. It was expected that Brandon Aiyuk could return for the final stretch of this season, but he remained on the physically unable to play list. His presence at the team's training facility has become rare. Sources say Aiyuk typically trains early in the morning and leaves before the other 49ers players arrive. Several members of the organization, including some 49ers players, have contacted Aiyuk in recent weeks in a failed attempt to bring him back to the group, a source said. Adam Peters knows Aiyuk very well. The same is true of quarterback Jaden Daniels, his former teammate at Arizona State University and close friend to this day. Everything indicates that the stars are aligning for a possible transfer to Washington, and this is an unmissable opportunity to reunite the quarterback with one of his most reliable targets. The Aiyuk All-Pro duo with Terry McLaurin represents a tempting proposition should he have better luck with his health. The contract needs to be advantageous, and there's also the question of Deebo Samuel Sr.'s possible renewal. But if Peters had to choose between his former 49ers teammates, opting for the younger one, who already shows chemistry with Daniels, would be the most sensible decision. Nothing has been confirmed yet. The 49ers may explore trade opportunities, but they may not be very willing to negotiate if other teams know he will be released. If San Francisco does indeed release Aiyuk, he will have a line of suitors. However, playing with Daniels again may be his main priority once everything is settled.
A Commanders commentator said what Cliff Kingsbury should have realized weeks ago. Adjustments are needed, and quickly. There's a lot of blame to be distributed regarding the Washington Commanders right now. But given his status and influence behind the scenes, offensive coordinator Cliff Kingsbury isn't receiving nearly the same amount of criticism as others for the team's failure. Kingsbury's unit has regressed this season. There are extenuating circumstances behind this drop in performance, but the coach's scheme is being exposed again after impressing the NFL in 2024. He has also been criticized for how he utilizes the roster. The absence of so many key players isn't ideal, but some fans have noted a hesitation to capitalize on the team's momentum and a lack of adjustments as games progress from week to week. A Commanders commentator criticizes Cliff Kingsbury for the frustrating lack of adjustments. Linnell Willingham, from radio station 106.7 The Fan, highlighted the situation of running back Chris Rodriguez Jr. in particular as something Kingsbury should have addressed much sooner. The commentator felt it prudent to prioritize the running game with so many wide receivers out injured. But while the Kentucky graduate is clearly the most productive runner at the moment, the offensive coordinator isn't acting accordingly. I'm glad Jordan Magee is playing well. I'm glad Chris Rodriguez Jr. is playing well. Where were they all this time? That's my frustration. With so many injured receivers, you'd think the offensive line is the healthiest group on the team, that the running back group is one of the healthiest on the team, but you're not taking advantage of their strengths. Is it fair to judge Cliff Kingsbury because he's without his starting quarterback and without his starting wide receivers? I'd say yes and no. I feel sorry for him, but I also observe his inability to adapt to the roster. Willingham is right. Take Week 11, for example. Rodriguez ran the ball extremely effectively in the first half against the Miami Dolphins. Instead of maintaining or even expanding on that momentum, Kingsbury turned him into almost a mere spectator after halftime. Washington lost in overtime, and Kingsbury received his share of criticism soon after the loss.